everyone, and welcome back to the Roger Juice channel. And guys, tonight's the night. It is October 31st, Halloween night, and what better way to celebrate today with another iconic character, which would be the NECA Ultimate Michael Myers action figure from the film Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Checking out the front of the box, it looks incredible with this poster art featuring Michael Myers in the background. This little text up here saying "Terror never rests in peace," and then of course we have the title right here on the bottom and the description of it being the ultimate action figure. On the side of the box, you get the same title right here with Michael Myers in the background. On the back of the box, you get some shots of Michael Myers himself. And I gotta say, if the figure looks this good in camera, then it's gotta be worthwhile. So you can see that they have some shots that are inspired from the film. And then, of course, we have the title yet again. There's also a small description of the contents that are within the box right here. On this side, yet again, you do get the title of the movie and Michael Myers. And then here on the bottom of the box, I think it is always, really cool addition to NECA and their figures is they always credit the people that are behind it. So you can see who sculpted it, painted it, and was in charge of photography. You also get the barcode right here and the NECA and Real Toys logos. And finally, on the top of the box, you get the title of the movie yet again. And just like with Frankenstein that we recently reviewed, it does have a panel that allows you to open up this case, showcasing the figure inside of the plastic right here. Another shot of Michael Myers, and check that out. You get the figurine and all the accessories shown right here in this window. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open them up and we'll go from there. And here he is out of the packaging. And guys, checking out Michael Myers, oh my gosh. Just like with Frankenstein, everything from the attention to detail, the overall look, it is incredible. The figure really captures the likeness of Michael Myers, in every, sort of way. So before I get too much into it, let's go ahead and start from top to bottom. Checking out the head sculpt, it looks fantastic. And I'm sure you guys can see it already on camera, but look at that. The attention to detail showing that he actually has eyes within the mask is really neat. I was picturing it to be just black or hollow, but nope, they went the extra mile and actually included his eyes within the mask. So that is really neat. I like how this sort of version of him isn't with the more cleaner look. You can kind of see that there's some stains throughout the mask, this sort of shading with the brown. The mask itself looks really good. Love the hair, really captures it. And besides that, he does have a joint at the neck, not really the top of the head, but it is sort of connected together. So he can go side to side, back, and forward. And yeah, here's a close-up real quick of that mask. And I like how it has the little eyebrows printed on it. That's really neat. Checking out the torso, he does have that mechanic sort of jumpsuit right here. It comes in this nice grayish sort of blue tone for it. Has some larger pockets right here. There's some longer pant pockets, and then of course it buttons up, but really nice. I like the wrinkles that go throughout it as well. And then I like how the collar piece is made of a looser plastic, so it is a little bit easier to move around and looks a little bit realistic. Now, as far as the articulation goes, I was trying to see where the joint was sort of located, but unfortunately, he does not have a ball joint or any type of joint right here in the lower waist, but it's mainly around here in the hips, so I guess we can kind of count that. He is able to go side to side, back, and forward, but not too much. It's a little bit stiff right there. Checking out the arms though, the arm does stick out pretty well. It does go all the way around, as you can see. Um, he sort of has like that butterfly joint, so it gives you a little bit more extra movement. He does have a double jointed elbow right here, so you get some pretty good articulation, as well as with the wrist and at the hand. The other side as well. Arm sticks out right there. Again, goes around very nicely. He does have that double elbow. And then he does have articulation at the wrist and at the hand. Even the attention to detail on the hands is really cool. I like how they're real veiny and, they're working man hands. So it's kind of cool seeing that they have little touches like that. And then I did want to talk about the double elbow joint right here. This is the first time I've ever seen a double elbow look like this. It's very interesting, but I'm glad it does work. Checking out the waist. We pretty much went over it already, but I'll just show you guys real quick. Of course, he does have like those larger pant pockets, but other than that, that's pretty much all to see. Checking out the legs. He is able to go on to a full-on split. He can kind of sit down right there, and the legs go back a little farther. And he does have a swivel right here in his thigh. And looking at the knee joints, he can go into a kneeling position. And again, I give kudos to the team that worked on this figure. I love how not only is there pinless joints, but check that out. They have a great way of hiding the knee joints right there within the pants. So really awesome detail. Things like that make the figure more worthwhile and collectible just because it looks more realistic. And then lastly, checking out his shoes. He does have these black boots right here. They do point down. They don't really point up as much as I'd like them to. But he does have like rocker ankles at least, so that's pretty good. And now checking out some of the accessories that are included with the figure. I'll go ahead and cover the smaller ones, and then we'll get to the ones that are, intentionally for the figure himself. But first off, he comes with a pumpkin. Checking out the pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern. It looks really neat. I like how it has like this more like aged look to it, and it's not just like this flat orange color. You can definitely tell that, someone carved it and put it out for Halloween night. I also like the fact that there's a candle in there. It doesn't move or light up, things like that, but it's still a neat accessory. Up next, he goes with some candles. Taking a look at the candles, they come in like these black, sort of like wax for the most part, and then they have the little flames right there. Up next, he comes with a bag of runes. Checking out the runes. Yeah, in case you haven't seen this film, it's not the best, but it's not the worst out of the Michael Myers sort of like Halloween films. But this one gets a little interesting, because it does talk about like these, like runes and things like that. But again, a very interesting accessory to go along with him. It's just like in this little pouch, and then it has the runes popping out right there on the side. And then the other accessory I want to talk about is the syringes. So taking a look at the bundle of syringes, this is one of the things that Paul Rudd uses on him to fight back, and that is associated with one of the looks that he is included with. But again, the reason why I didn't include this with like the other accessories or weapons is because I don't really see Michael Myers using this on himself. So again, a very unique accessory, but not very effective in the long run. And then I guess I might as well talk about this accessory too. This is probably one of the more cooler ones that comes along with this figure. That being the yard sign. So yeah, also included with this figure is this tray that is in the back of him when you bring him out. And it is the yard sign that is shown within the film. And you can either have it just original, or when the kids sort of like vandalize it with the Michael Myers cutout right here. I also like how it has the text saying he's coming, but I'll get him out of the plastic and we can go from there. So taking a look at the yard sign, of course you can see right here, it has the text showing the realty company being the Strode Realty. It has the sold sort of like sign over it, and then just comes like this. Looks really good. I kind of dig it. It's a neat accessory to go along with it, with the figure. And then of course it does have like this little patch of grass to go as a stand. And then checking out the cutout that is included as well. This one is really neat. The back is shown right here, and I highly appreciate the amount of detail right here, being that, you know, the back of it looks like legit cardboard. You can see even with the tape and stuff like that. And it looks like someone literally made it, you know, like a DIY project. So you can see it's very poorly painted on purpose. It has the "he's coming" text right there. Of course, it has like the mask and the knife shown right there. And the cutout does have this sort of like notch on purpose. So when you place it on the back, wherever you want, right here on the side of the sign, it attaches very well. So it looks basically like that. But yeah, it's really neat accessory. And now let's go ahead and move on to the actual accessories that come along with Michael, that being an interchangeable head. Checking out the interchangeable head, this is what I mentioned before. When Paul Rudd, you know, syringes him, he does start oozing green for some reason. But yeah, this is the mask that is shown, and you can see that green ooze coming out all over it. I don't think there's any major differences besides that, but it is cool to see that they included that mask. And of course, to equip that head, you just shimmy off the other one. Usually it comes off the peg just like that, and then from there you're able to place it onto the peg until it pops on. Let's see if I can get it on there. Come on. It's not. Okay, thank goodness. So it looks something like that. Up next, he comes with a deflated mask, I guess. This is also shown at the end of the film, where it shows Michael that he like threw down the mask near the ending, and looks really cool. I guess I could have included this with the other accessories, but still, it is neat showing it, you know, up close, things like that. So you can basically see it's the same exact mask, nothing too crazy, but it is meant to be thrown on the floor. Up next, he comes with a bunch of hands. He comes with 2 right hands, or no, wait, these are left hands, sorry. And he comes with 3 different right hands, and most of them just come in like different sized grips, so for the most part, that's pretty much it. To change out a hand, pretty much the same exact thing as the head. You want to shimmy out that hand joint, place it inside based on whatever hand you choose to put right there, and that's pretty much it. Up next, he comes with a machete. Taking a look at the machete, this is like one of the blades that they have in the hospital on a specific scene. So it's very cool looking. Has, you know, this long blade, silver coloring going throughout it, this brown handle, and then there's some blood running down it. And he's able to hold onto it very nicely, as you can see right there. Up next, he goes with a crowbar. Check out the crowbar, looks really nice. Has some cool detail running throughout it instead of being, you know, one solid color. Has some black right here. This part is rusted, so it has like some brown, and then the top is mainly silver, so that's really nice seeing the different colors. And again, another cool accessory that holds very well inside his hand. Up next, he comes with a axe. Taking a look at the axe, it has this wooden handle, which looks very nice. And then the blade right here looks really cool. I like how it has like this more rustic look. So it has like hints of silver, this copper sort of like color for like a rust. But yeah, they did a really good job. And just like the other weapons so far, he holds onto the axe very nicely in both palms of his hands. And of course, you can't have Michael Myers without his iconic weapon, that being the kitchen knives. So really interesting. I'm not sure why they put two kitchen knives with him. Maybe in case you lose one of them, it's an extra accessory to like replace it. But I've been looking at these things for a while now. I don't really notice any, changes in the grips or the blades themselves, so they're pretty much the exact same thing, but they are really cool. You of course get these brown handles, and of course those beautiful silver blades. And yes, check that out. He holds onto that kitchen knife very nicely, and it can be used both ways. So you can have it kind of like that, and it still looks really good. So, as an overview of the figure, I gotta say, just like with Frankenstein, I have to give props to the people that made this guy because he is a really good figure. From the articulation to the accessories, even the general look of the, whole entire figure, it captures Michael Myers perfectly. I especially like how he's able to hold on to these different weapons, very well. And then, of course, you have these amazing accessories that go along with him. I will say, though, there are, small little things like that. That being, the sort of articulation right here in the torso. I would kind of adjust it a little bit. I tried standing him up in different ways, even like straight up. It's kind of difficult for him to do, even on a flat surface. But other than that, if you get the right positioning, it's not too bad. But I'm really happy that you guys enjoyed, the rest of these videos this month. Halloween is especially one of my favorite times of the year, obviously. That's when I like to push for content, things like that. So if you guys enjoyed this type of stuff and want me to continue it next year, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out. Be sure to like the video in case you did. And also check out my Instagram page because I'm definitely taking pictures of these guys. And with that said, I hope you all have a very happy Halloween, and I'll catch you all on the next one.